So just a little bit of education, and I'm not trying to be smart, but I told everybody this was going to be a basic video series. So this is what you call a radiator, and you can see this is the front of the vehicle. And if you look down in there, you see little fins, I'll call them. And what happens is, as you're going down the road, the air will go through these fins, and these fins are surrounded by water, and you see the water is green, which means it has antifreeze in it. So when you say, somebody says you have a radiator, the purpose of the radiator is it's filled with liquid. You're going down the road, and the air is pulling it, being forced through. Or when you're just sitting still, this fan is rotating, and as that fan rotates, it pulls the air through the coils on the radiator, and it goes completely through the engine. There's a specific location tubing all through the engine. So that water is being forced through the engine. The engine is hot because there's gasoline being burned in there and explosions inside of the pistons and the cylinders, and we'll talk about that a little bit also. But today we're talking about the radiator. So the water's flowing all through here, and then it comes back right here, and it returns back to the radiator. And a little thing in here is called a thermostat. And inside of there, it basically opens and closes. As the water gets hotter, that little thermostat expands. And as it expands, it lets more water flow through this pipe. Cool it, water is in here, air flows this way. The water is pulled out of the radiator on the bottom, through the engine, cools the engine, comes up through here, through this thermostat, and it pulls back through the radiator. And that water is taking heat away from the engine, so it's cooling the engine. So all we're doing today is, you see this little drain right here. We're just going to turn that little drain, and you hear people talk about antifreeze. What's the purpose of antifreeze? It has multiple purposes, but the primary purpose is to keep your water from freezing in the wintertime. It also does some things to make the water easier to cool, and it helps it to cool more efficiently when it's hot. But basically you have that antifreeze in there, which has, I think it has a lot of alcohol, if I remember correctly. And that alcohol keeps the water from freezing when your car is sitting out in the winter at below 32 degrees. So I am taking out that water. This is about 50-50. It's about 50% water and 50% antifreeze. So that's a basic F100 lesson on a basic F100 truck, and why you have a cooling system and basically how it works. So we're starting one of our early videos, and again we're sitting in my dad's old pickup truck, and I told you we were going to be looking at verses out of the Bible, out of his Bible that he kept in his old truck. And if you look right in the middle there, it talks about, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 9, and I'm going to put this along with the cooling system, because I was thinking about what would go along with the cooling system. And what I concluded was that the heat of anger. So anger is what this verse is about, that goes along with how the cooling system works. So verse 9, and this is a King James Version. This is the Old English. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for angry resteth in the bosoms of fools. That's pretty good. Now, in the Bible that I use most of the time, it's NIV, which is New International Version, and it has a little bit more modern English. And again, it's the same verse of scripture says, do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. I don't know if I even need to comment on that, but I need to think about it myself, because sometimes I get a little angry and waste my time, whether I'm angry at somebody else or angry because things didn't go well. And usually I'm wasting my time. I'm being a fool. I would be better off just to put it behind me right then and move on. And I try to do that, but I need to read this verse a lot more often, because do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. Good stuff.